website, NC Biotech Center, so thank you again for your time. Bradley Smith, founder of Avo Insights, an augmented reality platform. He presented last week in Durham, and for those of you who are new to Avo Insights, it's really intriguing. So you'll go home and look in your mail and think, oh, this be a customer. So after his presentation last week, that's literally what happened. I went, at the end of the day, you're like, this could be for Bradley. That's what we want with the engagement from our community. So listen up and see how you can help them. Welcome back, Bradley.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Good morning, how's everyone doing?
Great.
I'm sorry if you already saw me last week, you're gonna hear probably the same spiel again, so my apologies. But my name is Bradley Smith. I'm with Avo Insights, and we do augmented reality. So over the last year, we've been doing more standard AR projects in museums, art galleries, commercial real estate, working with nonprofits, learning how people engage with AR and what the best use cases are with AR. So over the past few months, we've taken all of our experience and combined it into a SaaS offering. So we've opened up our platform to allow a targeted audience to be able to use our product as a SaaS offering, so just software as a service. And what that is combining AR and direct mail and creating a new marketing channel. So we did have a video, we had to convert it to PDF, so sadly I won't be able to show the video. But the reason why we picked direct mail to have our SaaS offering is because there's really no ceiling in direct mail. There's hundreds of billions of these things shipped out yearly, and there's no way to properly digitally track them. So using AR, we're able to merge physical and digital, and with that, the Avo application is what the end customer uses. So that's how they're engaging with the direct mail, that's how they're getting that experience, that's how they're getting the incentives, that's how they're getting this exclusive content only through AR. And then the Avo dashboard is where our customers are creating the campaigns, they're tracking performance, and they're able to download the visitor engagement list. So the reason why we're sticking with direct mail is simply because we're finding that it's a better digital option than what's on the market today. So we're seeing conversions as high as 9x what's on the market today. And more interesting is that we're actually seeing longer engagement in this marketing channel than we are even on Facebook. So Facebook video ads, the average is about 10 seconds, and with Avo, we're floating around 13 seconds. So once people are engaging, they're sticking around longer on this platform than they are even on Facebook. And then of course, with the conversions just being higher than the industry average, we're kind of sitting back, compiling all this data and going, man, this is possibly a really good opportunity. So how we make money is super straightforward. $300 a month, no long contracts, pay as you go, month to month. So our target audience right now, starting out, is a vast majority of direct mail. We want to definitely validate specific industries, whether it's working or not. So right now our net is wide. And then moving forward, we'll probably validate some markets aren't as good as others and kind of stop our resources there. Of course, selling into agencies is always great. We sell into an agency, then they sell to their customers. That's ideal, but the sales cycle is definitely a lot longer. So the team, myself, Air Force veteran, built version 1 at Avo, and now I'm full-time sales. Steve is our full-time engineer. He's been a part of 2 startups that sold for over 8 figures. And then Marcus works at Microsoft and is our part-time engineer. And then Mike is our advisor, has a lot of great experience on the ad agency side, both client and agency side. So put together a couple questions for the audience today. Number 1, if there is a specific industry that you guys think that we should focus on more of, maybe financial with the laws around collecting leads may not be a good fit in the beginning to spend our resources. If there's any industries that you think we would do better on or be able to get more momentum in, we'd love to know those insights. And then number 2 is the marketing channel. So as I'm sure a lot of people are sitting here kind of wondering what this looks like, without being able to show a video, it's really difficult. So trying to run social ads or trying to run email campaigns, stuff like that. It just doesn't really work because majority of people haven't seen this before. So trying to connect those dots is really, really difficult. So in a more normal marketing strategy, just running social or running email campaigns, it doesn't really work the same. We've noticed trade shows definitely gives us the best ROI. Just being able to show people helps out a lot. But if anyone has dealt with anything like that, we would love to know some insights there. And then we're asking for contacts, specifically around high volume direct mail, anything over 10,000, which isn't necessarily that high, but anybody that's doing or knows people that's doing anywhere over 10,000 direct mailers, we would love to get that introduction and start to validate a higher volume of direct mail. And my name is Bradley Smith, and that's Avo Insights.
Yes, I did pause to take a note on something that came to mind. So you'll forgive me if this was made clear in your presentation, but I have no idea what it does. And I understand that it's supposed to have been in the video. It would be helpful if you could narrate a little bit what it's supposed to do, because that would facilitate us helping you.
So when the end customer gets a direct mail piece, and all of the things that are on your table, the Avo, those are interactive, so you can actually engage with those. So the end customer, you're going through your direct mail, you see a piece that says, for a free pair of boots or for exclusive content, download Avo Insights and scan this mailer. So the user downloads the application, they point it at the mailer, and then it overlays video content directly on the mailer. Now it's not on your device, it's actually on the mailer. So as you move the mailer, the video moves with it. And then all of that data is populated into the dashboard.
So the mailer has something specific?
Yes, so the mailer, we use image recognition to actually recognize the image of that mailer, and then that's what triggers our software to bring back the specific video to overlay that mailer.
What's an example of that?
Yeah, so an example, Dry Shod Boots, they sent out mailers that said to enter for a free pair of boots, download Avo Insights and scan this. So the users downloaded the application and scanned it, automatically entering them into the raffle for the free pair of boots. And then they got an interactive experience and learned more about the company. And then of course the company got all of those analytics and data into their dashboard.
So a question would be, the 10,000 mailers that you're talking about, there's packs you get at home that have a lot of cards and mailers and all that. You get magazines from suppliers that advertise. Is that something you can help them get better traction of what their impact of their mailers are doing?
Yes, exactly.
So those mailers maybe just go in the trash, or some of them you may keep and say, hey, I'm gonna call this garage door guy when I need it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so we kind of use direct mail as an umbrella. Underneath that, we're doing trade show collateral, flyers, some catalogs, magazines, kind of anything that you want trackable when it comes to print is, kind of what we specialize in with our SaaS product. Direct mail, though, is kind of the easiest one to talk about without just saying, hey, any print in the world, because not, of course, every print works, but specifically direct mail, anything that you're sending out and you want to know the performance on is when this comes really, really handy, or when you want to provide more context to the user. When we're in the financial industry and we're trying to have people submit applications for loans and stuff like that, there's a massive trust barrier. Normally you don't get that and then just go straight to the website and submit an application for a loan. You want to know the insights on, what is this work? How much is it? What's this? I want to hear a testimonial, all these things to allow that top funnel lead to slowly work down and be able to become more of a qualified lead. So using the application, you can put a testimonial on the mailer. You can put an actual customer who went through the process on the mailer. So you can build trust through direct mail using video content. So with that is specific kind of use cases that we're seeing.
One more question on this. So it seems like you're changing the behavior of the mailing campaigns when they start. Your application is not tracking something that's already been sent. It only works if you do something at this end.
Correct.
And now it's in motion.
Correct.
So if I get those mailers, like I said, your application, there's no correlation, right? If I get those, I open a pack, what am I gonna do with that? There's nothing I can use your application, unless the vendor that is engaged with you is sending something, now you can track it.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's something at the front end that needs to happen.
Yep, so they have to upload the campaign into our software, which takes about 60 seconds.
Gotcha.
And then they, of course, send out the mailers, and then that's, as users engage, that's how all the data is populated into the dashboard.
But the mailer itself has to have something, right? Because when I get that piece of paper, it has to have something.
It'll tell you,
that I can-
it'll tell you what to do, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
hold on, we
So I have a
have,
question.
this gentleman, and
Yeah.
then we'll go back to you guys.
So given these, I don't know the direct mail industry, but obviously large geographic, demographic areas, do you have the ability to segment mailers in any way by zip code or whatever for a different campaign?
Yep, so great question. Not in the software today, but it is in our software milestones. We'll actually be able to separate it by location. So if you have a national mailer that goes out and say you want a different offering or a different video depending on state or zip code, you'll be able to actually do that inside the dashboard when you create your campaign. So we're kind of following a little bit of a following from Facebook video ad or Facebook ads. If you've ever used Facebook ads, the first thing that they ask you is, what's the objective of this campaign? Is it a lead? Is it video? Is it, a carousel? Like, what's the objective of this campaign? So that's exactly what we'll start to do when you create a campaign. It'll have a list of campaign options depending on the overall objective of the campaign.
So how much data are you collecting on the people who are interacting with your software? Are you collecting email addresses, or how can the companies retarget those people eventually?
Yes, absolutely. That's a big selling point for us. So we're collecting name, email, phone number, geolocation, age, gender. I mean, all the normal kind of analytics that flows through digital, we're able to pass through on the non-digital side of things now. And then obviously a big selling point is being able to take your offline marketing and then be able to retarget them online. Obviously, using AR, merging physical and digital, we're able to take all of that analytical data and be able to retarget these individuals online now. Remarketing platforms like Google and Facebook, you can run retargeted ads, throw it in your CRMs like HubSpot and Salesforce, or add it to your email list and slowly work down the funnel with email.
Sorry, do you need a minimum, like Facebook needs, 1,000 interactions before you can retarget or something? Do you need a minimum, or you give the data, everything they downloaded, or every single interaction you give to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now we are giving all the data, but that's a great question though. Possibly in the future, yeah, maybe we'll.
Okay, Andrew at the door next, and then Preston and Mark.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I was there last week to see your presentation. I didn't fully grasp, like you had the video last week, that was great. I didn't grasp exactly what it did. So I just downloaded it now and tried it out, so now it makes sense. Do you have a way where they can interact, to display the video, right? Can you put that where it displays the video first and then let's say 5 seconds in, now put the email. Instead of saying put your email to see this, have the video pop up and then say, if you want to see more, put your email in and then let them watch.
Yeah. So, technically, yes, just software updates, but we've actually found, in the beginning, we got a ton of friction with companies just saying, no one's gonna download an app, no one's gonna download an app, no one's gonna download an app, no one's gonna download an app. We heard that day in and day out, nobody gave us a chance. And then finally, we were able to run some case studies, and lo and behold, people actually downloaded an app. So with that, we now kind of have some data, just proofs in the pudding, and we're not seeing that big of a drop rate when people download and then they get presented with having to register for an account. We're just not seeing that big of a drop rate, so we're not necessarily as focused on trying to solve that just because it's not that big of a problem. I think mostly because when you go to download the application, there's usually some sort of incentive on the other side. So creating an account for an app, I mean, it's pretty much any app. It's pretty standard. So people don't get as caught up on it, and they want what's on the other side. They want the free pair of boots. They want the exclusive content. They want to learn more. So they kind of just fly through the registration, and it's not that big of a friction point.
Second question, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So there's video that pops up. Are there other options? Because I don't know anything about augmented reality. So can you,
Yeah.
like for other, like let's say I have a business that does direct mail. My customers might not necessarily want to see a video. So
Yeah.
are there other things you can put on there?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that is a friction point for us right now. Obviously, you need video content in order to use this. Again, going back to his question, once we can develop and get a little bit more of a mature software, we'll be able to offer, what campaign are you trying to create? What's the objective? Is it a video campaign? Is it a geo campaign? Is it a little mix? Instead of video, is it a PDF that pops up? Or, whatever the content is. But right now we're working with video just because most companies have video, they have files of videos, or it's pretty easy to create video. But definitely in the future we'll start offering other things too.
Okay, so we've got Preston, Mark, Ken, Jim. Go.
So my question is, what did you do in the Air Force and how did that lead to this?
Absolutely no correlation. Absolutely zero. I was in logistics in the Air Force. Self-taught everything. As soon as I joined the Air Force, I knew I wanted to get out of the Air Force. So it was kind of like, how do I get out of the Air Force? Taught myself software engineering as, kind of that, if my entrepreneurial career didn't start going, I could kind of always fall back on that. But then of course, being able to teach myself how to code, programming, kind of the basics, that's what enabled me to build version 1 and then be able to, get...
So it is
Yeah.
connected, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
I know your objective is to get as many people as possible to use this, but as someone who gets about 8 pieces of junk paper mail every day, a lot of it from charities that I know are wasting their money on sending that, and wasting my money because of charities that I give to. Is there a way for people to shut themselves off from your system?
Yeah, so the really important thing to know about direct mail is the conversions that we're working with. So we're working with about 1 to 3% conversion. So 98% of you in this room are not our target audience. And that's fine because what we know in direct mail is that 1-2%, they buy, they're loyal, and there is a big audience because there's direct mail campaigns that have 1 million, 2, 5, 12 million mailers that go out a month. So that's a massive range, and if you're converting 1 to 2% of that, you're doing really, really well. So being able to turn it off though, if you don't have to use the application. If you use it, of course, you're going to get that interactive, enhanced experience. But of course, you don't have to engage with the direct mail. You can throw it in the trash like 98% of people.
The other way around. If I get this and I scan it, can I tell it, don't send me those anymore? Interact with me electronically.
Haven't thought about that. That would probably be a great feature to be able to say, hey, I'm good, stop wasting your money on me.
So you keep the post office in business then?
Right.
All right. Ken, you're up next. Ken, just take it.
So my question is, how are you working within the Charlotte ecosystem? There are a few organizations. Are you working within those organizations that help entrepreneurs?
From like the startup ecosystem on the investor side of things, or we met with a couple investors. We're pretty heavily involved with I am personally in the ecosystem in Charlotte. We have a really, really good kind of bubbling ecosystem of startups and investors in Charlotte. Seed the South was in Charlotte last year, which was a really, really, really good event for us in Charlotte. It's starting to progress. We're starting to see some momentum, but with Charlotte being a little bit of a safer environment from the baking industry, we're definitely not seeing, an influx of people just writing checks like maybe in California or New York. So it definitely is a little bit of a different environment, but we're starting to see, it definitely progress.
So there's a guy named Keith Ludeman. Have you met with Keith?
I have not.
He's also a veteran, but he's also an angel investor, and he runs the ecosystem in Charlotte. Happy to connect you to him. I know him through a variety of ways, but he's also part of Bunker Labs.
Okay.
Have you heard of Bunker Labs? It's for you. It's for veterans who want to be entrepreneurs. So we'll connect you to Bunker.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Ken, did you still have a question? Real quick?
No, he answered it.
Okay. Brenda, I'm sorry, hold on. Rick had went here first, and then we'll go to Brenda. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. You guys can fight it out.
So just building on Mark's question, Bradley, I'm curious to see if you find any trend with direct mailers, like are there a certain demographic or industry that tends to kind of go onto the direct mailers and use this app versus other demographics as well? And then how do you translate that into digital, right? Because I would imagine digital behavior is different from direct mail behavior, so what correlations can you draw?
Yeah, so definitely the best opportunity is B2C. Anything that is incentive-based, we see way higher numbers. Like any marketing, you know, B2C is always going to have a little bit of a higher return than B2B marketing. Right now, we're still honestly too new to truly be able to answer that question. Just a few months of data really isn't enough data to start saying, you know, trends or certain variables are staying the same. As far as traditional marketing, print, offline marketing, and then digital marketing, it's really, really interesting. My background is all digital marketing. This whole print world is very new to me still. But the thing that's most interesting is how everybody, including myself, said, oh, you know, print's dead, direct mail's dead, doesn't work for anybody, blah, blah, blah. But as I'm starting to learn more and more about this industry, it's funny to compare, you know, direct mail conversions to, say, email conversions, email marketing conversions. You know, with email, you're working with like 0.1, 0.3% open rate conversions and stuff like that. Now, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than sending out, you know, 50,000 postcards. Yet, out of those 50,000 postcards, you may convert 2%, and you know, I just saw a metric. It was like, you know, the average direct mail is, you know, say $50 to send or whatever it may be, the cost, but the return is like $100. So you're actually getting a lot of value. You probably know more than me about that, but
in 2018, marketers found that for every $167 they spent on direct mail, they actually sold over $2,100 worth of products and services.
Wow.
So it's really, really interesting to kind of, it's really interesting to sit in here from my digital background and now being introduced to this traditional marketing and kind of be like, whoa, this isn't dead at all. It's actually thriving. Now, it's definitely not for every business at all. But the businesses that are, like the Ashley Furnitures and stuff like that, they're doing really, really well.
Well, it kind of leads me to your question at the top of like maybe retail being something to target as well, because you're getting coupons in the mail, etc., that people will keep, and you know people want to come into those brick and mortar stores, want people to come into that, right? Like there's a correlation there, like being able to do that and maybe giving people a sense of what that experience is like in the store, in addition to a discount that they're getting. As well.
Exactly. So one of the things we want to do is actually tackle that a little bit more and provide the opportunity when you scan that coupon. Right now, inside the application, you have the history, which saves everything. So kind of taking that a step forward, when you scan that coupon, now it saves in the application. So when you're at JCPenney's or whatever, and you go, oh crap, I have 15% off, but the coupon's at home, actually, it's now saved in your application. Pull out the app, hand it to the cashier, they scan it, you get your discount, and you can keep it moving. So, you know, if you scan a coupon and then you know, throw away the pile of print and everything like that, and you go, oh crap, you know, I really wanted that coupon, all of that stuff is saved in the application. Or if you forget it and are at the store, you can pull out the application and just scan like a QR code or something like that that identifies that coupon. So, yeah, definitely great.
I just want to say, he's not a plant in the audience, but this is an example of how rich our community can be when people, you know, with this knowledge show up and share. So thank you for that. Rick, you had a question, and then Rick, you're gonna have to be the last one.
That's fantastic. I like that. It's all about me. You're down in Charlotte, so two things I wanted to ask you. Have you approached the behavioral group at Duke Energy in regards to using this for their mailers out?
I have not approached them.
Because I'll put you in
further.
contact with. The other one is the 49ers, the Alumni Association over at UNC Charlotte. Send these out, they cut back on the print or the big booklets, that you could actually take your card and cut down on the cost, but yet still get a good return on those things.
Yeah.
I have a contact there, I'm happy to put you in contact.
Yeah, definitely would love that. Interestingly enough, our first kind of couple of customers were in the education. They were using the platform with their handouts at job fairs and stuff like that, trying to just add a little sizzle to their handouts and show that these students, hey, you know, as a college, we're, you know, in on innovation and stuff like that. And that actually was fun to see. And probably the funnest thing about the company is seeing how companies are using the technology. Of course, you know, we're big on direct mail, but now we're starting to see, okay, customers not only are using it for direct mail, but they're starting to use it internal for some other applications. So it's pretty fun to see.
What happens with trade shows, you see it, if it doesn't answer your question, you throw it out. So this could be a hook for a lot of trade shows that would expand their visual experience.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the trade show collateral, it's interesting to see how long people still engage with it. We saw people still trickle in over a month after conferences, where you're just not going to be able to understand that type of performance without some sort of digital option. So it's really, really interesting to see how people are engaging with this print material, you know, a month after trade shows and conferences and stuff like that.
Excellent. Well, with that, I appreciate it, Bradley. Thank you very much.